Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Derived Planner video presentation. My name is Alexander Maximov and I'm glad to present you distribution network prototype which has potential to reshape business flow as we know it. I have prepared an agendas plan to keep this presentation succinct, and I will be switching between the plan, the prototype website and a few other websites to give you an overview on the project. So, presentation's agenda includes: number one, original idea. Here I will describe the project in general, what makes it unique, so special and effective. Number two, relevant experience. Here I will talk briefly on my own experiences and examples of effective business models I met, which brought me to develop this project. Number three, compelling case. Here we'll take a look at the feasibility charts and analyze price structure. Further on, I will go through the interfaces for the juridical entities and for the trade officers. Number four, focused launch plan options. Here I will talk about two solutions I see which are possible to launch the project. Number five, clarity concerning future direction. Here I will take a brief overview on the open data care principle and perspective which it opens. 6. Broader impacts articulation. Having described the open data care principle, I will then shortly present you areas where it is being evaded. Number 7. Goals. Here I will stipulate ambitious goals which are realistic due to effective management, I suggest. Number 8. Needs and anticipated outcomes. Here I will mention what is needed to do coding and give explanation on the hyperbolic development scheme of the project. Number 9. Conductions and timetable. I will mention what are the preparation steps and expected timetable for them. Here. Number 10. Measure of the results and performance. Whatever you talk about, you are most likely to talk about the money. I will get a bit deeper here over it. So, number 11, staff. Staff and the team issues are to be covered here. Number 12, budget. Budget I came up to talking to several programmers teams. I will show by the end of the presentation. So, number one, original idea. Well, presenting their idea to someone new, I would say it is a social network professionally oriented for freelance sales managers dealing on the B2B market. I would then reformulate to say that it's a freestyle trade officers union with straight B2B sales cycle. And I would then also need to say that it is an open data interbranch supply chain network with integrated private spur obligations. Well, presenting original idea further on, I would also need to describe their following. It adds to any usual company's database, like Yellow Pages database, a possibility to perform goods promo for any juridical entity, which would pay not for the unfocused traffic or any type of advertisement, which effectiveness is always a gamble, but it would pay only for the accrued sales arranged by Derived trade officers, thus spurring their actions. Economically, this model excludes investment risks on promotion, advertisement and running costs on the sales departments whatsoever, and it also excludes interlocutors' distribution network ballast in the price structure, thus establishing best offer possible and giving a possibility for juridical suppliers to extend their market share. So, relevant experience. Well, me personally, I've been working on the B2B market for something like 15 years already in the field of marketing and sales. Besides working on the B2B market, I've met few examples of efficient distribution system. The first one was little1.ru. I've met for something like 7 or 8 years before. It's a forum for St. Petersburg's parents where they discuss all the issues being a parent. And what happened there is that one of the mommies announced that she has an access to a wholesale supplier, and she would like to purchase some kind of a good for a wholesale price. But in order to do that, she would need to purchase that good 40 pieces at once. So she offered to other mommies, let's purchase that, and all have that kind of wholesale price. Well, other mummies were really glad to get that kind of an offer, and they have agreed to unite to make a wholesale purchase. Well, me personally and my wife, we interacted with that kind of an offer, and we were really glad to have a possibility to purchase something like two or three times cheaper than in the shop. Then there was another company, Taxi Always Driving, established here in St. Petersburg. What they did, they brought passengers and drivers with their own car together, and this company showed astonishing development rate. They brought over 1,000 cars within the first year to their fleet. Having analyzed how this taxi company was working, I came to an idea that this kind of a scheme could be easily implemented on the B2B market. So, there is the third company where I was suggested to become a business partner. It's a new workshop.ru, rebranded to Asnatska Stankov RF. This company is an internet shop for B2B. It's a B2B internet shop with all the e-documents turnover, and while having analyzed the inner part of the business of all the processes being conducted there, I've came to an idea that the Rider Planet could be something new to the market, to the B2B market, completely reshaping its current structure. So, number 3 now, compelling case. Price structure analysis and data and feasibility calculations. Well, in the first chart you see a typical price structure chart of the commercial distribution system involving few commercial distributors. And at the second chart you see a chart supplied by the Rider as it is planned in, halving the end price compared to the standard distribution system. Well, having here same ex-work price, ex-work wholesale price, commercial distributor usually has a pretty much of a commercial interest. It has quite high organizational costs, different types of promotion, sales manager's bonus, having it here and here, and all the different sets of extra costs besides of several VAT taxes involved in the price structure. So we got it lighter, we got it shorter, we got it simpler, we have it direct, we have the best market offer from the price structure by nature. Now I'd like to get to simple and user-friendly interfaces. So in order to switch to interfaces, I would need to go to the Rider's presentation web address, rider.jimdo.com, but for some reason I'm having some problems with my screen cam. It is desynchronized with audio track, so I will stick to some pictures. So on the menu above you have the list of all the topics presented on the presentations website, and on the marked gray Durant, juridical entity, it's a field going into the description of the interfaces for the juridical entity. Well, there are two interfaces for the juridical entities. It's a buyer's interface and there is a seller's interface. A buyer's interface and an option to order goods from the showcase presented on the Rider's showcase. The possibility for it can be given only by the trade officer. So trade officer opens an account for the buyers to have a login and to have an account to proceed with the purchase. That interface has all the possibility for editing the info on the company, its bank requisites if needed, for their invoice, its delivery addresses, the history log of its orders, all the e-documents, all their invoices, all the shopping carts, and there is a Jurida wall page with the special issues. Having got the buyer account, this buyer as a juridical entity may extend and become a seller, juridical seller within our system. Trading officer do not have any access to that interface, and they may, as a seller, they may upload their goods database and apply a price model to it, stipulating what is to be the end price and what are the shares of the trade officer, starting from the minimum, which I count to be something like 2%. It's a minimum. Could be stipulated by the seller higher. It could stipulate some discount margin where, for example, if it gets to be 20% and the trade officer agrees for 10%, well, there could be different conditions, but for the saved 10% for the seller, trade officer could be somehow took a part of it, to share a part of it, half of it, or whatever the seller stipulates within the price module. So these are the interfaces for the juridical entity. Well, now going over to the interface of the trading officer, we understand that that interface would supply all the functions which will satisfy trade officer's duties. We understand them as typical sales manager's functions. So he has a table where he can filter fixed juridical entities. Well, the juridical entities he has fixed for his account, reserved ones, free to talk to and send a commercial offer. He may set new juridical entities. He may prepare an invoice, which is a commercial offer, made upon the next button, a set cart, shopping cart, from a specific integrator. He has further on integrators database to check what are the suppliers available. He may demand supplier if it is the case, and if there is a specific equipment he needs which is not in the database of Jurida. He may go to his revenue affairs, checking what he is willing to do. Then there is a button for Juridica counters. Juridica counter is a count on the traffic to the Jurida's wall page of the juridical entities which he has affiliated. So Jurida is promoting his efforts on pulling additional traffic to the websites, to the wall page of the Jurida participants. And he may invite another officer. Having done that, he will be spurred with referral share from any turnover invited officer pulls. Well, and he may set filter to arrange that table in any way it is convenient for him to look at. So that's about their interface of the trade officer. So now we get to number 4, focused launch plan options. Now, besides launching the project for any kind of a trade company, solo, where it would have an outsourced sales department inviting trade officers to promote the products of that company, I focus on two other solutions, two general solutions for Jurida to start. First of them would be launching a BIPO, World's Intellectual Property Service Company Class 35 Jurida, with a sole SEO focus. And the second option would to start kind of a similar product with no bordering for social continent, make it completely global, representing a global economy. Two solutions are possible, and I would think that both of them would are worth starting. So now to number 5, clarity concerning future direction. Well, within the Jurida platform, I suggest a certain principle of caring the data we get. I call it data open care principle. All editions are open stored and always open all editions. So all the statistics we get through the Jurida planet regarding the volumes, the interactions between the entities, the background information we gather, any kind of feedback on their entities placed by other entities. So all that is being stored, being open, and nothing will be deleted. And that kind of e-replog, or that kind of a rule how to hold their information, forms by its nature an authority instrument. And with that kind of an authority instrument, open audit and open atar become real, become doable. That's one of the direction we have to take into account. Then there is another project I have offered for Mr. Bilausov, though it has been declined due to it wasn't fitting the official policy of the company. Well, nevertheless, the project I have actually just offered him, though it has been prepared before. To my opinion, it has suited the company, but whatever. It could reshape and take a real big part of the hypermarkets share in the market, serving the foods in a set for families, designed like a set of products for one family for 1 month, delivered to where they live for the half price they would pay for it, or even more than half price they would pay for it in a hypermarket. So connecting the producers of food and the families. And all those kind of instruments, the e-replog, the B2C market solution, would pull social and political support. Like those who will supply this kind of effective service and effective management would definitely get the political potential which they would need this way or the other work with. So that's about the future direction of the project. So now to number 6, broader impacts articulation. Well, having supplied to the market a solution for an effective pricing, with an effective pricing, juridical entities get addicted to it, and they get addicted to use Jurida Planet to form their purchase and conduct their sales. And having also within that terminal other entities, private entities, discussing what is to be discussed about the all juridical entities, we may form a labor union this way. So e-labor union becomes possible. While taking more and more on the business flow, tax form standardizations becomes possible. So all the programs for accounting, including banking, can be implemented and synchronized within the Jurida Planet. So tax forms is also an option for as an outsourced accounting service performed within the Jurida Planet. Complete social audit, global e-government possible. Well, that's I will explain a bit later. Political perspective through efficient management, B2C integration. Well, that's what I've been talking in the past for just few issues before, and going now straight to number 7, goals. That's kind of completes what the project is about. The project has a potential to integrate with governmental authorities to build up united database and confirm social open audit. Well, that's, in my opinion, the real goal for Jurida Planet, as its potential has an opportunity to perform it. So now to number 8, needs and anticipated outcomes. Well, what is needed for the project to appear is a group of skilled PHP programmers to do coding. 3 to 5 programmers within 2 to 3 months full-time working on the project would pretty much do most of the coding needed for the project to start. In fact, it's a simple social network algorithm combined with an internet shop with a bit of built-in editors for the forms and notifications. It's in fact a simple product which just needs a bit of time of PHP programming. So outcomes in terms of gracious fonts flow are expected in hyperbolic scheme. If you would take a look on the development rate of Facebook, for example, this kind of a graph is to appear regarding the attention to the Jurida Planet project, and so to its funds flow. So now to number 9, conductions and timetable. Well, as I have already said, from technical point of view, it's a simple IT product with simple logic sticked to the interest of freelance sellers, well, freestyle trade officers. Alpha testing could be done with a few Russian companies which represent European manufacturers, such as E-Workshop.ru, Оснастка станков.рф. There are simple promotion planned in on the job room and similar websites to invite trade officers to have an easy freestyle sales promotion duty. So any website of that kind could be could pull a huge traffic to the project in terms of the resource of freestyle trade officers issue. Building on the private interest and integrating referral share for officers to invite new officers forms rapid development of the Jurida. Well, this is an algorithm we are already aware of. So alpha testing could be done within 2 months after the programmers team has been assembled. Well, 2 months is something we would need to prepare an alpha testing and apply databases we have to start promoting the Jurida Planet within the resources and connections we have available at the moment. So, measure of the results performance. Whatever you talk about, you are most likely talking about money. So, as I told you, the hyperbolic scheme is the measurement of the effectiveness of the system we are suggesting. I am suggesting here. Well, so now number 11, stuff. Team is expected to stay small. As I see, there is no need in making the team anything but small. Having done built-in editors for the templates, any forms, notifications and sellers showcases allow Jurida's evolution to run automatically and be performed by participants. So participants are to moderate the development. That's why staff and the team is expected to stay small. And now to number 12, startup budget. Well, as I have discussed what could be the budget with few programmers teams, I came up that budget should include support for the programmers teams of something like 5 people for 3 to 5 months. It's the worst plan, 3 to 5 months, and cover initial promotion of the Girardi to suppliers, to pull initial suppliers and first trade officers, though some preparation has been done already on that issue. So in fact all that has already a certain level of status ready. So estimated base plan budget is 100 to 125 thousand US dollars. I have to mention that cash flow starts right with the start, with alpha start, covering insignificant running costs. Well, that's about all on the presentation. From my side, I would like to say that me personally am interested in quantum physics philosophy, and I have an idea for some scientific breakthrough projects which I can bring to realization when certain funds are raised, and Girardi Planet is a solution to raise few funds for me to run some really exciting quantum physics projects. So, well, thank you for your attention, and I haven't listened to me for the whole presentation. I'm glad to have any feedback on their issue from all the parties involved. Thank you very much. Goodbye.